Uh-oh. We lost Jane. Good morning, everyone. It's Andrew Plank and Jane Johnston with the Victoria Real Estate Show. And we are coming to you live here on Monday, March 20th. I had to look to my side to get the date. Can we hear you, Jane? Okay, so she may be having some trouble here, so we'll just continue on. Jane is, I think, in Winnipeg at the airport and sort of in between things. So she's joining us today. She's a trooper and always part of the show. Okay, I think she's just about here. Your mic is muted, it looks like, Jane. There you are. Hi.
Hello. How are you?
I am great. Where are you off to, Jane? You jet setter traveler all the time.
Well, I was just in Toronto for the weekend visiting my family. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. Yeah, it's coming through great.
Yes, long time. It's been many moons.
Yeah.
So
good afternoon. You have your attention, please.
I'm in the airport.
Let's listen to this announcement and see if there's anything interesting.
Can you please go back to the shuttle screening and you left behind? Thank you.
Hey, did you go visit Briar Hill while you were there?
I did. I got a picture. I'll post it today.
It's really funny to me that you are the Briar Hill group and it's a Toronto place, but I think it's amazing, like just how you.
So for anybody who doesn't know, Briar Hill is a street that I grew up beside in Toronto, and it was a fabulous neighborhood. And it's kind of the kind of place where if you want a cup of tea or you need some sugar, you just go to your neighbor and everybody knows everybody else. And so when I was trying to come up with a team name, I actually had a different name initially, and then that ended up becoming the Briar Hill Group because...
What was the name of the street you actually grew up on?
Courtly Boulevard.
Okay, so Courtly Real Estate Group wasn't an option?
No, it's too. Actually, what happened was, so I was considering names, and then I was driving through the countryside, no word of a lie, between Cobourg and Peterborough, and I was telling my husband, we drove past this farm, that I love this farm. I was like, I always, every time I drive past that farm, I love it. And then we stopped, and we saw it was Briar Hill Farm.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Okay, and you're like, okay, that's it.
And there's a Briar Hill in Calgary. There's Briar Hill all across Toronto. So whatever.
Okay. If I was to name a team or a group based on the street I grew up on, it would be the Salish Group.
That's a good name.
It's actually not bad. Yeah. So that was in Comox. I spent my formative years in Comox.
Huh. Yeah. I looked at Race Rocks real estate and stuff, but I wanted something ubiquitous.
Okay.
Not defining an area.
Beyond Victoria?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So thank you. Somebody gave me the thumbs up. I hope you like my name. Anyway, I think it's been a decade. So, okay, what are we talking about today?
Today we're going to actually talk about, everybody's been talking about it, but let's talk about AI and maybe how it relates to real estate and how some people are applying it in their real estate businesses, or how you could, and how it is applied in general. And let's just chat about it. I mean, Gene, you haven't actually had a lot of prep on this. You're using AI, as am I. Haven't done super deep dive in it, but it looks like it is the future.
So why don't we do the stats for today, this week? Mm-hmm. Okay, you go ahead.
Yeah, so this last week, there were 240 new listings with 157 properties going pending. You can see that ratio between the green line and the purple line is a little bit, there's more purples now, more than half. There's definitely more properties going pending and a lot more activity out there. I was involved in multiple offers again this weekend, so for sure. A lot of stuff going on. 70 price decreases, so still price sensitive out there, and a lot of people having to make adjustments to their price to get those offers. 4 price increases, 3 properties back on market, 102 went transacted with the lawyers, 27 properties expired. That's always a good metric to watch, and 1 property was withdrawn for whatever reason. Any comments on that, Jane?
Yeah, like price decreases this past week were 70 compared to 60 the week before, so that just says to me everyone's starting to sharpen their pencils.
Yeah, and so if you look to the week before, which is on the right here, again, that ratio between the green and purple line is definitely a wider ratio. And then, of course, the price decreases is going up. So again, people are sharpening their pencils, knowing they're going to be, I think, finding a lot more competition and a lot more new listings coming on as we enter spring. So they've got to be ready to be competitive.
Okay.
Okay.
This is a pre-boarding announcement for any passengers requiring legal extra time or assistance on the jetway.
Okay, so can you do this announcement like a airport announcer?
Okay, we are at for the week of Monday, March 20th, we're at 319 sales as compared to 833 for the month of March in 2022. So I highly doubt we're going to reach last year's records, and it was the peak of the market last year, so that's okay. New listings is 648. That's compared to 1,217 last year at this time for the whole month, and we're at a total of more listings, actually 1,913 compared to 1,063. So
yeah,
pretty good.
And you said something interesting there, Jan, and that is that okay, and that is that we are now looking, when we look into the past, that last year's stats, we're looking at pretty much where we were at the peak and on maybe starting to be on the way down. That sort of downward pressure we were experiencing over the summertime and fall of last year. And if all things sound like we're more back to a balancing place, maybe even some bolstering of pricing. But that's where we're at. Jean just had to take a phone call. So business never stops while we're on the Victoria Real Estate Show.
Sorry, we have a new listing coming up, and I don't know why they're calling me. They need to call.
Okay.
Anyway,
okay.
All good.
All right. So I think we talked about that, and let's move on to talking about ChatGPT. So, and AI in general, but I think more specifically, we're going to talk today ChatGPT.
So so there's two types of programs. There's ChatGPT and there's Jasper AI. And Jasper AI, I think, actually is more geared towards real estate.
So let's back that up a bit. And I did a little research, and I'm not by no means an expert on this, but OpenAI was a tool founded in like 2015, I think. Elon Musk was one of the founders. But OpenAI actually has a lot of AI tools that they run. And there's a lot of tools running off the background there. Jasper may be one of them, because there are companies that they're piggybacking on this technology.
So I've been using AI since 2015, and mainly to analyze the type of marketing that I've been doing, and just to ensure that I'm reaching the right type of people. So I've done targeted marketing towards a certain my ideal client, to attract my ideal client.
Okay. And so how was Jasper helping you with that? What was your?
I wasn't using it. I was using a program called Bank Code, which I still use.
Right.
And it analyzes emails, text messages, websites, and everything. People have used it to write books. And it's not, the difference is these are text generators, and the program I used was a text analyzer.
Okay. Interesting. So this ChatGPT is something that a lot of people are using these days as well, and it kind of does a lot. There's things it doesn't do, but it does a lot that is disrupting, I'd say, how things were done in the past. It is a language learning model. It essentially they take a lot of information from various sources, internet sources, and so forth, and send it out to learn. And most of the information it has is based on information up to, I think, a couple of years ago. It does not know everything today. So, for example, when I asked it about myself and told it to tell me about Andrew Plank, the realtor in Victoria, it output wrong information. In fact, it said I was a realtor from. Let's try it. We'll try it again. But it said I was a realtor.
Do you want to share your screen and try it?
We will in a sec. Oh yeah, okay. Well, let's just do that. Let me open up chat. we're going to dive right in here. So just go into share screen, just a minute here. Okay, Jane, can you see my screen?
No, I cannot. You have to go present.
Yeah, there it is.
Got it.
Okay.
First class.
Here, because it's showing a new chat without my. Anyway, I was hoping to show some stuff that's happened in the past with this, but hopefully that will work again, because I do have some saved chats that I was going to show examples of. But let's type in, tell me about Andrew Plank, the realtor in Victoria, and hit send. Let's see what it comes up with.
So what's interesting is I went to Canva.
Oh, this is really weird. It's not. Go ahead, Jane.
Canva also has an interesting program where you can go in and you can say like top 10 posts of why to buy real estate today, and then it'll generate it, and so you'll end up with 10 posts that you can use for social media. And then Chat GPT, you can do something similar as well. The other thing you can do with these is for that I've used in Jasper.
Move on to me.
Huh. Okay, we're going to stop that. Go ahead, Jane.
I was using Jasper AI, and I was, oh my God, these people talk way too much.
Not like they're important announcements, Jane.
I did one with like to describe our team and describe somebody coming on, Kayla Sousa, as a new realtor. So I put in, and it gives you, you're supposed to put in like 6 keywords, and then it generates a paragraph, which was, it was good. And I was like, it was lazy writing, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, show me your examples.
You know what, chat? Sometimes it does this. It's supposed to remember your chats and your past conversations. And for some reason now it's not even letting me. So I'm going to try and log in again. But in the meantime, let's bring up the slideshow again. And this was all working beforehand. I did actually do a run through.
First class and comfort.
Not like yeah. Sent. Okay. You want to bring up the screen there?
Let's move on. Mr. Cabot.
No. Live on your channel. No. Okay. Well, let's just keep going on with this. I will try again at the end of this, but the chat GPT is not. It's the AI is not being very I. Hey, Meredith. Meredith says hello from Central Texas, USA. That's great. So OpenAI, which is the company that is spearheading ChatGPT, says their mission is to ensure artificial general intelligence, by which we mean highly autonomous systems that outperform humans at mostly economical valuable work, benefits all humanity. So that's their charter. Sort of an interesting piece, and very sci-fi, right?
I think the point is that you could be very manipulative in the use of artificial intelligence, and
they're trying to make it as useful for people.
Yeah. It's I think television was created the same way, and now it's Okay, so go ahead. Things you've learned.
Things I've learned is, if you put garbage into it, it will get garbage out. That's just basic programming. You really need to be careful what you ask it and how you ask it, because if you ask it the wrong question, it will give you the wrong answer, and you have to be really, really clear in the questions you ask. It is trainable, so it will learn. You can run through different chats, and each chat will have its own conversational flow, and you can actually have it begin to learn and give you feedback based on what you've told it. So be careful about leading the witness. Fact check is still required. As I said, when I had it tell me about myself, it told me I was a realtor with RE/MAX, which I've never been. And even though it is based on older data, it's that old data would never have said that I was a realtor with RE/MAX. This is a really interesting tool. Go in, use your imagination, play with it. There's all kinds of things people are doing with it these days that that are outside the box thinking, but it is based on the dated data. So, Jean, do you want to read Meredith's latest text? Oh, okay, interesting.
This is a good platform, but has too many security issues. Charles Schwab and other U.S. financial companies have banned it until they fix the underlying security issues. But that being said, for small businesses, they will not experience the same issues and should be able to use it without issue. So I'm not sure what she means. Maybe it has to do with, I don't know, maybe is it access to specific data, Meredith, or is it Meredith is a realtor in Las Vegas, Nevada. Oh, but now she's in Central Texas. Okay.
I'm getting a message from ChatGPT that they're at capacity. It's interesting because I'm paying for the paid version, which shouldn't be down, but it's giving me a little poem. Actually, let's go back to share screen and I'll show you what it's giving me right now. It does happen, especially if you're not paying for it. I am paying for it, so it should not be doing this as far as I know. But there you go. It's telling me, it's giving me a little poem about itself. It's down, huge demand. It's caused the site to crash. All users will have to wait. Time is needed for the service to catch up. Yeah.
So I'm part of an online group where people are discussing the use of this in real estate, and where people I find need help is I'm writing listing descriptions.
And so they're using it a lot. Yeah.
We're going to get some vanilla listing descriptions, is my thought.
Well, what's interesting too is like when I talked about the prompting, you can actually play with those listing descriptions as well. But you do have to. I mean, it is probably taking the edges out. Let's talk about that actually. So one of the things I found, there's a recent article just came out recently. It's by an AI prompt engineer, and so she's talking about ways to use ChatGPT to get best results. But what the heck is an AI prompt engineer, and where did this come from, right? Like, so we've got a link here in the slideshow. We can, if you're interested in these links, just send us a message and we'll send you the slideshow. But it's an interesting thing because she was, a writer, and then she got hired as a prompt engineer for copy.ai. And so she writes prompts to train the bot to generate high quality, accurate writing. And that's kind of the key point here is you've got to train the bot AI, anything you're going to use. Jane's nodding her head here.
I'm listening to you.
Yeah. So she was in the article, she goes on to explain, so the founder explained that prompt writing a spell. If you say the spell slightly wrong, something slightly wrong can happen, and vice versa. And
I have a long talker here in the Winnipeg airport.
Okay.
I'm like keep muting myself. Okay, Meredith is saying too much access to critical data from an enterprise perspective that the internal security teams for a company like Charles Schwab are not comfortable with at this time. Smaller companies are not going to have the same type of issues as they're not highly regulated.
Yeah. They're not highly regulated like a financial company. Okay. So if you're going to use an AI like this, Anna suggests using a thesaurus. So don't give up on a concept just because your first prompt didn't get the results you wanted. Often finding the right word or phrasing can unlock what you're doing. Really pay attention to your verbs. If you want the AI to fully understand your request, make sure your prompt includes a verb that clearly expresses your intent. For instance, condense this is more powerful than rewrite this to be shorter. It is great at recognizing intent, so use that. So for example, today we're going to write a blog about XYZ, or we're trying to write and we'd like your input. Putting an umbrella or of intent over that, what you're doing is always useful, and playing around with the different ways can make a difference.
The other thing is, like you can tell it depending on which program you use, what tone.
You can tell it what tone you want it to output in. Yes. I've got an example of that coming up. Jane, we've lost Jane again. So we'll move on to the next slide. So when it comes to prompts, you can actually find prompts online now. People are actually putting out prompts. So this creative prompt, for example, I want you to act as a novelist. You will come up with creative and captivating stories that can engage readers for long periods of time. You may choose any genre. You essentially tell it what you want it to be, and then it will be that for you. It's a little bit of role play there. And there's all kinds of different prompts you can give it to tell it how to output. I'm really frustrated that chat is at capacity right now because like I had all kinds of stuff set up to give examples about, but anyway, there you go. If you want to see a really good video about chat and its applications, and especially its applications to real estate, this is through RealVolve, which is my CRM program, and they have ChatGPT integrated into their CRM emails. And they had a guest on that talked a lot about chat and ChatGPT and how he's using it and how to do prompting. And it was quite interesting. But one of the things that is also interesting, and one of the things he was saying, is that right now, as far as we know, Google is not, they're not too concerned about AI generated content, but Google has always wanted original content. And so if you're using an AI and you're making stuff for your website and you're broadcasting it online as your blog, if it comes across as AI generated, there's a possibility in the future that it will not be picked up as much.
Yeah, and there are going to be people who are going to be putting in the same types of questions, and that will be generating the same content. Yeah.
And there are AI content detectors out there, and that's like, it's interesting, the technology that has spanned from technology. And you can actually do some research into this, and then you can actually tell ChatGPT to game the system a little bit so that it rewrites things so it's a little bit more human. You can't tell it to write more human, but you can tell it to add certain elements to its writing that will make it appear more human and get past these current AI content detectors.
Yeah, you could ask it to be sarcastic and all of that stuff.
Yes, it is really fun. Again,
sassy.
Not getting in. All right, so here's an example of one of my little emails that goes out to my clients, and within this, so this is when somebody's asking for some resources. Maybe they've just completed a transaction with me, so they'll get this email, and I asked OpenAI, because within the editor box here up at the top, there's a OpenAI option. And so you can click on that, and we'll open up a window giving you access to tell it, what you want it to do. So I asked it to rewrite this in a Scottish accent. And this is what it output. It took this and gave me this.
Okay, so read
Jane,
it.
I'd like you to read it. Okay. Dear lassie, we all need a helping hand at times. As your realtor, I'm just one of many service professionals available to help you through the buying process. Most commonly, the others will include a lawyer, building inspector, and mortgage broker. Others often come into the picture, as well as may include handymen, moving companies, cleaners, and more. Anyway.
I wish I could make this bigger. Maybe I can. Hold on. Let me see. Okay. Having been in the business since 2006 and have built relationships with some of the best service providers in the business, please visit my business directory for a list of useful resources. This doesn't preclude you from using your own people, of course. If you have a great relationship with your bank or an inspector, please feel free to use them. Otherwise, I encourage you to check out my team. If you can a winning service provider not on this list. I'd love to hear about them from my other clients.
Oh, Jane, you just rocked that. Amazing. Well done. Oh, I really wish I could share this. So you know what? I had asked ChatGPT to write a song about Victoria, and it output a song complete with cherry blossoms, Victoria in spring, and it
Aw.
output a song complete with cherry blossoms. I asked it to write code for a bouncing ball. I said, write code for a bouncing ball, and it output a script in Python for bouncing ball. I recently used it. I was going to do some marketing to some addresses. I went on to AutoProp, which is a program that we have as realtors access to, and I was able to get addresses for a condo building that I wanted to send mail out to.
What do you mean? Say that again. How'd you do that?
I'll show you later. But so that I did that.
Wow.
And I asked it for that. So I output that as a comma separated value file, essentially an Excel spreadsheet file. But the program that I was going to plug it into to send the mail out to these people needed a different format, because what it had done with the output was included the full address line with street number, street name, city, postal code, everything. And I needed it separated for the program I was putting it into, so that the street name and number were separated from the city, we were separated from the postal code, etc. So I copied out the spreadsheet screen, pasted it into ChatGPT, and said, output this in comma separated values, splitting up the street address from the postal code from the city. And it took some time, but it output all that. I then copied it, saved it as a text file, changed that to save it as a CSV. I know it's a little complicated, but anyway, the point is I got it to work, and it saved me a lot of work in having to manually do that.
You were able to get people's addresses, like home addresses, and who is living where?
No, not who's living there. I just, in a condo building, it has a number of addresses, and like on the first floor, it might be units 101 to 108, but you don't know that unless you find that there's those addresses. So I don't get the occupancy, but I do get the addresses for the building. So if there's 5 floors and 4 units, 10 units on each floor, whatever it is, are they numbered by 1021 or 121 or whatever? It just outputs it properly.
Could you get the east-facing condos of a building at a specific address? We just did that.
Tell me how you did that.
Except for the first floor.
Now we're off topic. Tell me how you did that.
No, we did it. We did it.
By hand.
By hand. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a matter of looking at the strata plan and combining it all up.
To me, it's just like so you're talking about the future here. To me, it's just like what's going to happen. It's verbal, and it's basically verbal instructions of if you want to find out the information, you could ask anything.
Yeah. So once again, it's ChatGPT. We can't get in to show you those examples, but go in. I encourage you to go in and play when you can, and the paid version is actually worth it, except I'm just wondering.
And I've been using Jasper AI, and I've been using it just to use descriptions for listing paragraphs for websites and stuff like that I'm designing. So highly recommend it. Just try it out, you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Go out there, have fun, play with it. Yeah, and then talking about the future of it, we don't know what this is going to be like, but it is. It's all going to be based on how we use it, I think. And this goes back to garbage in, garbage out, and how is it used and what is the future use. But I'm really curious about what's going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years as more and more people start to lean on this technology and find issues with it, but also find really unthought of, unimagined uses that maybe really change how we interact with stuff.
What are the costs for this?
Oh, it's like $20 a month.
Yeah.
To get the full version, which gives you access to the higher, like the ChatGPT 4 engine. And it should have less downtime or no downtime, but that's why I'm a little confused as to what's happening here. It also remembers your chats. So I've got a list of chats in my left-hand side that show up, and so that I can pull those chats back up. And then, of course, if you've been prompting it to try to teach it to be a certain way, you can pull that chat back up and keep that prompting. So it's just good reference. I asked it for, well, so the color of this slide is, I asked it for, I said, give me a color in hex code that you believe represents Victoria. And it said, Victoria is a coastal city. Went on, I don't remember its exact rationale. And then it said, here's a hex code that I think represents it, that sort of represents the ocean and water and so forth. And so the color background of these slides was recommended by ChatGPT.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it as a suggestion that of a representation of something like, of a color that could represent Victoria.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Andrew, how do people reach you?
Don't call me today. I'm not in the mood. You can reach me at 250-360-6106. Email info@andrewplank.com. Find me on Instagram under plankandrew.
Yeah, and if you want more information, you can email Andrew, right?
You can, yeah. Email me at info@andrewplank.com or check out the website.
He'll be running a course on how to run ChatGPT next month.
If I can get ChatGPT running again.
Okay, and if you want to reach me, my name is Jane Johnston with the Briar Hill Group at Remax Camosun. My number is 250-744-0775. My email is briarhillgroup@gmail.com, and my website's briarhillgroup.com. And you can also find these videos and more at victoriarealestateshow.com. And I'm also on Instagram at Realty Teacher.
And again, if you want a copy of this, of these links that we had in the slideshow, please just send us a message. We'll get you those links.
Yeah, and if you want any input on what's happening in the show in the future, just send one of us a message. If you enjoyed the show, give us a thumbs up. We want to hear. And don't forget to subscribe. We are on every Monday morning at 10 a.m.
Yeah. And again, if you know of somebody who we think you might make a great guest, if you think you might make a great guest, if you have suggestions for future topics, please reach out. We'd love to hear from you.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you for having me on today.
Thanks for showing up. That's awesome. I'm so glad. I thought I was doing this on my own, and but ChatGPT was not cooperating with me. So I'm glad I had a real live person on the other end. And you know what? You cannot replace a real live person yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
All right. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye, Jane. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.